Hi friends, this is me Payal Datta, and in today's video I'm going to help you with the line by line explanation of Daffodils by William Wordsworth. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you like my video. Links to other poems are given in the description below. Now before we begin the poem, I would like you to know three things. Firstly, Daffodils was published in 1807 in Wordsworth's collection of poems called Poems in Two Volumes. Secondly, what you need to know is that Wordsworth and his sister Dorothy went to their friends the Clarksons. When they were coming back, they saw a large number of daffodils growing on the banks of the lake Ullswater in the Lake District. An account of this day might have inspired Wordsworth to write his poem Daffodils. Now I have given you the extract from Dorothy's journal. You can pause the video and screenshot it and use extracts from her journal while framing your answers. You need not learn the entire thing, but quoting from her journal will help you get extra marks. And while quoting, quote the words and phrases within double quotes. Whenever you attempt any question from Daffodils, mention the name of the poem, the poet, and from which collection of poems it has been taken. In doing so, you will get extra marks, and if you cannot remember the publication, then it's perfectly fine. Just mention the name of the collection and always mention the name of the poem or any book within single quotation marks. The third thing that you need to know are the literary figures. That is, what is a simile, a personification, and what is poetic exaggeration, because these are the three literary figures used in the poem. If you don't know the meaning of these literary figures, check the description box below. I have explained them all individually. Okay, so now we will begin with the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, besides the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The poem opens with a simile, as the speaker, who was wandering, that is loitering, aimlessly compares himself to a cloud floating in the sky over the valleys and hills. The cloud projects the speaker's loneliness. The cloud is lonely because it is far above from the rest of the world. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Here the poet personifies the daffodils using words like crowd and host. The daffodils are compared to a large number of people. The word host is usually associated with angels, like a host of angels. The speaker probably hints at the unearthly character of the daffodils. Moreover, he calls them golden. Now, daffodils are usually yellow in color, but by calling them golden, the poet points out at the unearthly beauty of the flowers. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The speaker had seen the daffodils growing beside the lake and beneath the trees. The word fluttering, meaning flapping, and dancing further helps in personifying the daffodils. Fluttering means flight. The speaker may refer to the heavenly qualities of the daffodils, comparing them to angels with wings. The daffodils swayed themselves in the breeze, and hence the speaker imagined them to be dancing. Okay, now coming to the second stanza. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in the never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So the second stanza too opens with a simile. Here the daffodils are compared to the innumerable stars on the Milky Way. The stars in the Milky Way cannot be counted, and they seem to be stretched in a single line, just like the daffodils that grew in abundance along the lakeside. Like the stars in the Milky Way, which cannot be distinguished from one another, the daffodils could not be distinguished. This takes the readers back to the first stanza, where the speaker compares the daffodils to a crowd. Now, the comparison to the stars also provide the readers with a hint that the speaker is trying to make the daffodils a heavenly thing. 10,000 saw I at a glance. Here the poet uses the poetic exaggeration to comment on the abundance of the daffodils. Sprightly dance means the energetic dance of the daffodils. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. Here the poet tells us that the gentle breeze passed over the surface of water in the lake beside which the daffodils grew. The poet imagined that the waves were dancing as he observed the rippling water. But they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Here they refers to the daffodils. Outdid means defeated. The daffodils defeated the waves in the lake in happiness. Both the daffodils and the waves danced in glee, that is joy. Earlier, the poet described the daffodils as golden, ascribing them unearthly qualities. In comparison, the waves only sparkled. Thus, the flowers outdid the waves. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. The company of the daffodils and the lake beside which the daffodils danced are referred to as the jocund company. Jocund means cheerful. Here, a poet refers to the speaker himself. The dancing daffodils and the lake kept the speaker company by making him feel good. The thought of the jocund company unburdened the speaker's heavy heart when he was in solitude. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. The speaker was struck by the beauty of the scene. Surprised, he could not decide what the joy of the sight brought for him. He gazed at the moment. The poet uses the word gazed twice to emphasize that he could not imagine how he would recall this experience in future. What wealth the show to me had brought. The poet here uses the word wealth to refer to the jocund company. The sight of the jocund company gave the poet pleasure whenever he recalled the moment in solitude. The beauty of the whole scene is described as show. The crowd of daffodils, dancing lake, growing trees all make up the show. Nature permeates the entire poem. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude, and when my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Here we can see that the poem is divided into two parts. The first part deals with the speaker's physical experience of witnessing the beauty of nature. The last part is the essence of the poem. Here the speaker speaks about the healing effect of nature and praises solitude. The speaker says that when he is alone sitting on his couch in empty or sad and pensive mood, he has the opportunity to think about nature. This is how he is reminded of the daffodils. They flash upon that inward eye. He recalls the scene with a deep spiritual vision. Inward eye means the quality of imagination that allows the speaker to recollect his experience with nature in his mind, which is the bliss of solitude. The speaker praises solitude, calling it a bliss, that is a blessing. We know that Wordsworth did not like the noisy city life. According to him, urban life was filled with hectic activities, which did not allow a person to come close to nature. Country life, however, gave a person the scope to enjoy nature. Being a nature lover, Wordsworth believed that nature provided the ultimate good influence on human mind. This is also the theme of the poem Daffodils. The poet concludes the poem saying, And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Here he means to say that when he recalls the show of the daffodils and the lake, lying alone on his couch in solitude, he feels calm and refreshed. The memories fill his heart with pleasure and he feels like dancing with the daffodils. So with this I come to the end of my video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll definitely answer, and please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Please check the description box below to get explanations to other poems.